last few weeks, we've bought 6 Tom Anderson boutique guitars. They're regarded by many as some of the finest guitars ever built. But if they're genuinely this good, why don't more people play them? In this Squealing Guitars video, I'm going to investigate. And by the end of the video, we will determine whether Tom Anderson truly deserves a place amongst the world's elite guitar brands. So let's not dawdle any further, let's get straight into this Squealing Guitars video. So to kick off this episode, I'm going to talk about my personal history with Tom Anderson guitars. I've been reviewing instruments here at Squealing Pig Guitars for the last couple of years, and I have to say I've been lucky enough to have a few Tom Andersons in my hand. One of the first Tom Anderson guitars I ever played was an Angel Player in like an autumn burst. This was amongst some of the first videos that I was making for Squealing Pig Guitars at the time, and my first impressions of the Tom Anderson were really positive. I was taken aback by the quality of the instrument. But up until now, I've only played 1 or 2 Tom Andersons at a time. But in today's episode, that's going to change. Over the past week, we've bought 6 Tom Anderson guitars, and I'm going to be putting them head to head to determine which Tom Anderson I would take home with me. There's only one way to find out, and that's to plug these bad boys in, so let's get into it. Because we have 6 guitars, I'm going to be doing a quick fire review round. I'm going to play for about a minute on each guitar and give you my first impressions alongside a rating for each guitar. And the whole purpose of this is so I can find my personal favorite Tom Anderson guitar. Let's not dawdle any further, let's get straight into this beautiful S-Type. What a beautiful tone on that neck pickup. Let's go fingerstyle. So dynamic, and it's a really nice resonating guitar. Big thumbs up from me so far. Let's hear some overdrive. Wow, this guitar is insane. I've never played a Tom Anderson Strat style guitar with the 3 single coils. The guitar itself balances really nicely on my lap. It's got a nice kind of 60s carve on the neck, but it's a little bit thicker than Oval C, and it's staying in tune really nicely. I'm really impressed so far. We've really started with a bang. I'm gonna rate this guitar an 8.5 out of 10. Let's go to the next one. So time for guitar number 2, and it's an absolute shredder. Coming in this gorgeous red color with a black pick guard, it looks like it's ready to play Motley Crue. It's equipped with a Floyd Rose and a pretty mean looking humbucker in the bridge. Let's see what it's all about. So from first impressions, I don't like it as much as the previous one I played. That Strat style one was beautiful. It has a little bit of a thinner neck on this, but it feels a little bit cheaper for some reason. It's just a plain maple neck, but it should be the same finish. I just don't seem to be resonating with this one as much. But before I count it out, let's hear the neck and the middle position. the guitar is really high quality. I like the aesthetic of this guitar, but that's kind of where my like for this guitar stops. It's got quite a high action, it's hard to play, and I'm not a fan of the Floyd Rose tremolo at all. The single coil tones still sound decent, but not as good as that previous Stratocaster I just played. As a result, I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 10. I didn't enjoy playing it too much. So let's try out this single cut Tom Anderson. Straight off the bat, it's got a lovely neck carve and it's a really lightweight body. It's got a little bit of a Les Paul vibe, but it's just a little bit slinkier thanks to the bolt-on neck. But just so much sustain, I'm really enjoying it. Let's hear the neck pickup. Definitely my favorite one so far, so much sustain. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. I think this might be the winner. So now it's time for this free P90 beast. We've got a killer pink finish on this one. It's light as a feather, and we're back to that beautiful roasted maple with a slightly kind of oiled finish. This is like the first guitar I played, which I really enjoyed, so this should be a good player. Let's play some clean stuff on that neck pickup. That neck pickup sounds sensational, such a lovely balanced tone, and we're back to that lovely resonant feel. Let's hear the next position. Again, what a lovely balanced guitar. So much dynamic range. This is the first time I played a guitar with 3 P90s in as well. But again, we've just got that lovely oiled neck. Very nice lightweight body, which is creating a lot of resonance on this guitar. Is it better than the Stratocaster or the single cut? No, but it's still an incredible instrument. So I'm gonna give it an 8.2 out of 10. I really enjoyed the clean tones on this one. So we're back onto the shred machines. This guitar looks insane. It's got a bright yellow finish, black pick guard, and a lovely maple board. It's giving me Ibanez vibes, so let's shred it. This one is way better than the red one. This is a very good example of what Tom Anderson can do in the shred department. The humbucker's got a lot of girth to it. The Floyd Rose is set up really nicely, and it's just got so much sustain. That was a really fun guitar to play. Let's quickly hear the neck pickup. So this is by far the best shredder I've played in this episode. I love the finish, I love the feel, it's got that Tom Anderson resonance, and obviously got that lovely humbucker and the bridge for all the sustainy shred parts that you'd want. I thought it was a really good player. I'm gonna give this guitar an 8.2 out of 10. I thought it was a really good player. So the final guitar of today's episode is this crazy white Tom Anderson guitar with a plethora of switches. I'm just gonna be on the bridge pickup and we'll maybe hear the neck pickup in this part of the episode, but it's just a quick fire review, so let's hear the tone. This guitar is great. It's got the same action as the yellow one. This one does have the plain maple neck, but this one does feel better than the red one that I played. Nice low action. It's a little bit of a heavy guitar, probably because of the Floyd Rose, and I'm not a fan of the switching system. I can tell you that already because it's already confusing me. But a really good player so far. Let's hear some other positions of this guitar. Guitar plays really nicely, it's set up well, decent weight, it's a little bit on the heavy side, but I don't really mind that. But most importantly, it stayed in tune and it's got good sustain for a shred guitar. Not my favorite from today's episode, but definitely a very good guitar if you're in the shred market. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. So which Tom Anderson am I gonna go for? Well, it has to be this Bora Bora Burst. This guitar is awesome. Let's see how it sounds in a mix. So in the previous clip, you just heard how beautiful these Tom Anderson guitars sound. And with that in mind, it makes me question, why don't more guitar players choose Tom Anderson? Given the exceptional quality and tone of these instruments, it's fair to ask why they aren't common on stages or in studios. In my opinion, the answer has little to do with the instruments themselves and their quality and more about the market. Boutique pricing is the first hurdle. As you guys know, every Tom Anderson guitar is meticulously crafted by hand, using the best materials available. But that level of craftsmanship and exclusivity comes at a price. And in my opinion, this places them beyond the reach of their actual target audience. If we think about the type of player that is gonna, enjoy a Tom Anderson or use a Tom Anderson as their main guitar, it's gonna be a session musician, it's gonna be a studio musician. But we're talking about guitarists that are using them as a tool, not a collector item. However, Tom Anderson guitars are priced a lot higher than their competitors, and as a result, they're a little bit out of the reach of their target audience, in my opinion. And another thing that comes to mind is the limited production of these guitars. Of course, scarcity and low production helps the quality of the product and ensures that you're getting a beautiful boutique instrument, but it also means that they're in less guitar shops and have less dealers, meaning a lot of players don't get the experience of playing one. And my final point in this segment would be that they don't have a lot of artist association. As a result of not having high-profile musicians playing their guitars, it means that a lot of people don't associate their guitars with high-end artists. So I think it just comes down to the fact that a lot of people don't actually realize that Tom Anderson guitars exist and they don't have that artist association, and therefore they don't know how great they are. So ultimately, that's why I believe that a lot of players don't choose Tom Anderson. So I've chosen my favorite Tom Anderson guitar, but before we give the final verdict and our final top trumps rating for this one, let's put it through one last shred test. So guitarists, now it's time for the shred test. I'm going to shred for 45 seconds on this yellow one, and I'll do 45 seconds on my favorite Tom Anderson from today's video. So without further ado, let's start that timer. Now let's move on to my favorite Tom Anderson from today's video. Let's start that shred time. So guitarists, we're at the end of another Squealing Pig Guitars video. I really hope you've enjoyed checking out 6 beautiful Tom Anderson guitars today. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video, hit the hype points button, and let me know your brutally honest thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think of the Tom Anderson brand, and would you add one to your personal collection? Let me know down below. So what have I learned today? Well, I've learned that the Tom Anderson brand is extremely consistent. The QC on these guitars is impeccable. So 5 out of the 6 guitars that I reviewed today played amazingly. And I think that shows that they have good quality control. I have to admit, over the years, I've not exactly got along with Tom Anderson as a brand. I've always viewed them as a little bit sterile, and I didn't really see their target audience. But after today, that has changed. These guitars are clearly for players, professional musicians, and studio musicians. People who need a Swiss Army knife of a guitar. Personally, I would recommend them to any gigging musician or a musician that needs a lot of tones in the studio. They're versatile, they're always staying in tune, and they've got great intonation. And of course, that's very important for a working musician. I'd also recommend it to anybody playing at home who's playing more complex styles. If you're playing Guthrie Govan, Tom Quayle, Martin Miller type licks, then this guitar is going to suit you greatly. So in my opinion, Tom Anderson are underrated. Yes, they're very expensive, but you get a lot for your money with these guitars. So in this video, I picked my favorite Tom Anderson of the bunch, and that was the single coil in Bora Burst. This guitar had an incredible sustain. So let's give that guitar a final top trumps rating. So what would I give it for aesthetic? Well, I'm personally going to give it a 9 out of 10. Although this guitar looks a little bit quirky, I really like the uncovered pickups, the Bora Burst, and it just worked. It's like a small Les Paul. It's a really weird guitar, but I just like the look of it. I think it's really unique. The playability and tone, that has to be a 10 out of 10. This is where these guitars shine. The intonation was perfect. It had a nice neck shape, easy to play. Really no criticisms there in terms of a guitar. I would happily own this guitar for playability and tone. For collectability, this is where it gets a little bit harder to talk about. Obviously, the market has proved that Tom Anderson guitars seem to go down in value after they've been bought new. There's not a lot on the market, so it's hard to say with confidence whether they would actually be a collectible down the line. In my opinion, the answer is no. I would rate it 3 out of 10 for collectability. And then finally, value. Well, these guitars are very expensive, coming in at £5,000, and at that price, you're competing with the big boys, Gibson and Fender Custom Shop. I would give it a 6 out of 10 for value. I think it's a little bit overpriced because you don't have that brand awareness, but in terms of an instrument, it's made to such a high level. For me, when you're getting into that £5,000 territory, you're not just paying for the instrument anymore, you're paying for the reputation of the brand, the history, the lore, all that type of stuff. So if I'm spending £7,000 on a Gibson, it's probably going to hold its value better than if I bought a Tom Anderson. So let's take a look at that top trumps card and reveal the final score. But that is the end of this Squealing Pig Guitars video, guys. My name is Ben Keightley, and I'll see you again shortly for another episode. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.